All right, everyone, we're going on a field trip. If you've been following my Instagram, you'll know that I've been working on the limited pulp edition of DvsM 1997, which has imagery that kind of references the cheesy, pulpy 50s sci-fi art that you would have found on a book or maybe a magazine. And then to really run with that, I add a distressing effect. Try to make it look beat up and old. And someone asked me how I'm doing that distressing effect. And I thought that would be a real easy tutorial. It's not a trade secret. You bet, I'll show you how to do it. So we are on our way to a secondhand store as step one of making your very own distress effect for your comic or book. All right, so we're here. I'm on the lookout for some beat up old paperbacks. There's lots of places you can find something like that. You don't want to spend a lot of money because all you're looking for is just garbage books. I'm going to Goodwill, which is my closest secondhand store. What am I looking for? Ideally, operative word, ideally, we're not going to find this, but this is the platonic ideal of what I'm looking for. Ideally, I want to find a very beat up paperback book that is very dark, so either black or dark blue or dark red, some deep color, so the distressing has a lot of contrast with it, and the minimum amount or no writing or imagery on. So basically I'm going to be trying to find a dark colored book that I can work with, that I know I can basically capture all the wear and tear and eliminate all the text on the back or some picture of, like, you know, a guy with his shirt off or whatever we're going to find. We ended up with The Hunger Games and something called Devil May Cry by Sherilyn Kenyon. Irresistible, according to Publishers Weekly. Brisk, ironic, sexy, and relentlessly imaginative. Relentlessly imaginative. You want it to relent, but no, it's not going to relent. Anyway, these two books, I think they have a good combination of wear and tear. I don't know if either one of them alone are enough for a good resource to do a distressed cover, but I think the two together could be, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But these two books were, let's see, I ended up paying, it was like $4 something, and then I rounded up to donate, so it was $5. $5 for two books, and you're getting a real life distressing effect, which is going to look, in my opinion, way better than anything you're going to try and figure out on your own with like brushes and trying to illustrate it. Just do the real thing. You know, real is underrated, and it's going to have that quality that makes people think like, oh yeah, no, I totally buy that. You're not going to have people looking at it and saying like, I don't know. All right, now the technical part. I'm going to speed up parts of this video so you don't have to watch it in real time. But here are the broad strokes. First of all, you want to scan in these books that you got at the highest res you can manage. You would rather have an image that's way bigger than you need than too small. It's going to give you maximum flexibility regardless of the art you are applying it to. So I'm scanning this in a crazy res. It's like 500 DPI because I might keep this, I might use it in the future, and I don't know what I'm going to use it on. I might use it on a giant image, so I want it to be giant. Once you have those images saved, open up Photoshop or whatever your Photoshop analog is. This is the part I'm really going to speed up. But what we want to end up with is a rectangle that is basically black with white distress on it. That's the end goal. After I open up the grid overlay and mess with it so it's straight, I crop it so we're just looking at the book. I pull out the pencil tool with black ink and I start blocking out anything that's not distress. The title, all the other text, the price tags, the art, all that stuff has to go. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're just trying to get it close.
because eventually what we're going to do is start cranking up the contrast so the distressed areas are very light. Everything else is very dark, and it's going to get us closer and closer to that goal of a black shape with light colored damage all over it. A quick tip for this when you're trying to select these things. You'll see if you slow this down, I really lean on selecting an area, like a dark area or one of these blue areas of the book, with the magic wand or the selection tool, then going into select similar. And that will pick up a lot of the similar kind of tones and colors from the book. Now I have them all, and I can just black them all out with my pencil. There's a lot of doing that. There's also a lot of, if I want to hop back and forth between distress elements and the dark cover elements, I'll select a little bit of something, select similar, and then select inverse. This process is going to be harder or easier based on your comfortability with the selection tools. You'll see at one point, because I removed a sticker, there's no damage in the bottom left corner. Not a problem. With the clone stamp tool or by just copying and pasting, you can replace all that by sampling other areas of the image. As long as you're clever about it, you can stretch a little bit, you can flip it vertically or whatever you need to do to conceal. You don't want it to look too obviously a repeated pattern. But you can patch areas where you feel there should be more damage using other areas of the image. So once you feel like it's looking pretty good, you have the goal, which is a dark shape with a lot of light damage. Eventually you're going to select all the dark, again by selecting some dark area, select similar, and hopefully you're capturing all of it, and cutting that, deleting it. And you should be left with an image with transparency where the only thing in it is a bunch of light damage. Once you're happy with what you have, save it. So now we're in the application phase. Just for an example, we're going to use my favorite issue of G.I. Joe, number 21, Silent Interlude. We're going to make it look like a beat-up old paperback book. So, in Photoshop, or again, whatever you're using, open your art that you're going to try and make old. Also open your distress effect that you've made. You'll notice here that the effect looks different from what I was working on before, and it's because what I was working on before, I liked it, but I felt it wasn't enough. So what I did was scan in that second book I got, went through the same process with the second book, and I overlapped the damage. So I ended up with something that was a little more significant, a little bit cooler to look at. Copy it, paste it into your art file, use free transform to resize it to the dimensions of your art, and there you go. Looks pretty cool, right? But wait, maybe you don't have $5. Maybe you don't have a secondhand store nearby. Maybe your secondhand store doesn't have the right beat-up books or any books at all. Maybe you don't have a scanner. Maybe you don't have Photoshop. Maybe. Not to worry. Calm down. Take a deep breath. In the description of this video, there's a Dropbox link to the art file that you watched me create. You can take it, use it however you want. I don't care. Now, it's not free. It's not free. I don't want money. I don't want money for it. What I would like is for you to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and then especially hit the little, there's a bell down here somewhere, hit that so you get an alert every time there's a new video on my channel. That's how you can compensate me for the time and the effort and the emotion I put into making this video. The emotion. Let me know if you liked this. Let me know if you'd like to see more tutorials, especially if you have specific suggestions. I'd love to hear them. I'd love to do them. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. One video a week. So far, so good. Talk to you later.